Today we're going to be taking a look at a gun that was requested by a subscriber, and I was definitely curious to try this one out because it's been a little while since I've tested it out here in Modern Warfare Zombies, and I'm definitely a big fan of this weapon. Today we're going to be taking a look at the TAC-56, we're going to be testing it out a bunch in the red tier zone, and then we're going to complete the original OG Dark Aether. And the loot on this run was really good too, so maybe if you guys are looking for a new gun to rock here in Season 4, we definitely got you covered here. And with that, welcome on back to the channel everybody. If y'all don't know, my name is Ghost. I appreciate everybody that stops by the video today. If you're into zombies content or anything Call of Duty, rock the hell out of that like button for me and subscribe to the channel. And we are getting so close to that 20,000 subscriber goal, and I cannot thank you guys enough for all the insane support. I can't wait to get into everything about this loadout and this run after a brief word from today's sponsor. If you guys are looking to unlock the new MW3 camos such as Interstellar or Borealis, or possibly even play in some bot lobbies or get all the best schematics in Modern Warfare Zombies, then be sure to check out Midge Cactus. They're the biggest and most reliable sellers with heaps of brand new offerings for MW3 with completely safe and legitimate services for Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. With thousands of great reviews on Trustpilot, you guys should definitely check them out. Be sure to use code REALG at checkout for 5% off your entire order for a limited time only. Now, where do I really start about the TAC-56 here in Modern Warfare Zombies? Well, I really do gotta say that this is a really great AR for just all around almost anything that you guys are gonna want to do. There's not too many cons that I can necessarily think of. It does hold 120 rounds in reserve, especially if you got mega holding. That's definitely gonna come in handy. As you guys can see here, it does rip through these mega abominations pretty damn nicely. There is some guns in the game that might be able to do it ever so slightly quicker, but this is pretty fast. Movement and snappiness of the TAC-56 is actually really good for an AR. The power is definitely there. My big recommendation with this thing is that I would recommend you guys at least rock an epic or a legendary ether tool on this thing. If you're running anything below that, it's going to feel a little bit underwhelming. Taking on most contracts in tier 3 was an absolute breeze with this thing. I mean, just sitting in the Outlast contract, that was incredibly easy. And then with this HVT here, this was probably the hardest thing that we had to do. We struggled a little bit with the one at the tent here. Then we ended up getting another mega abomination HVT that actually ended up going a lot quicker. I mean, we did have a little bit better of a vantage point on him. Just overall, it goes to show you that this is really a good weapon here to use in Season 4. Now, the few cons that I do have for this thing are really just the common ones that we find when we're running with ARs or heavier weapons and stuff like that, and that just is the fact that they are going to make you a little bit slower, and I would advise you guys to either be running with your fists out or something else that's going to give you a little bit more of a speed boost. Something like a good pistol or a good SMG, or maybe even if you got the VR11 that gives you a little bit of a speed boost when you're running with it. It is just a little bit slower firing. It seemed to take on those mega abominations really well, and it seemed to take on mimics and disciples really well. The manglers, I don't know why, but it seemed to struggle with those a little bit. And I know I've talked about this before, but this is one of those comfort guns that I know is going to be just one of those guns for a lot of people that they're just very comfortable with using. I know that this was a lot of people's favorite gun in like Modern Warfare 2 and even going into Modern Warfare 3, and just this has been a fan favorite for a long time. You don't have Deadshot yet. The recoil is still really easy to control. Really doesn't weigh you down too terribly bad, and it's pretty snappy for an AR. I do gotta give it a little bit of credit. I think there might be a couple that might be a little bit a step above this thing. That might just be my personal preference though too as well. I gotta go back and try out like the FR Advancer and even like the Razorback again. I know those are two that stick out in my head a lot. Look at this guy. He ended up going down way faster than the first HVT that we ended up taking on, and this guy ended up dropping me a Scorcher. The first one dropped me a Crystal, this one dropped me a Scorcher. I mean, these guys just want to drop me good loot. I'm all for it. Now we are here in the OG original Dark Aether, and this one actually gave me a little bit more of a run than I thought it was going to. I haven't been in like the original Dark Aethers in a while. I keep going into the Elders. I figured this one was going to be a little bit easier on me, and I actually ended up struggling a little bit. I'm not going to lie to you guys. In the end, we were still able to get it done and come out with some really good loot and an Elder Sigil, so we can either come back in here or go into one of the other Dark Aethers. One of the reasons I wanted to do this particular Dark Aether today is because not only can we get some of the best loot in here like the Aether Blades and the Golden Armor, but this is going to be one of the locations for the Void Aether Rifts that we're going to be getting here in Season 4 Reloaded. Apparently we're not going to have access to the entire Dark Aether. It's actually going to be more like a closed off area, and from what the trailer showed us, it looks like it's going to be right in front of the Outlast location, basically right where Pack-a-Punch is. Now, I have a feeling we're going to have access to like those upper railing areas and stuff, but we're not going to be able to leave that area. Like all the doors are going to be locked off, and we're not going to be able to go through the gates or anything. This has me kind of excited because I like these smaller area like holdout style of things, and apparently from what they're saying, because it cools down all of our schematics, this is actually going to be a pretty hard challenge. According to a dev over at Treyarch, this is one of the very last things that Treyarch worked on before they, completely departed the game, that this is supposed to be something for the hardcore round-based fans, and that for the people that have actually reached the end game of Modern Warfare Zombies. And I know that there's a lot of people out there just like myself that have kind of ran out of things to do in this game. If they do provide me with something that is an actual extremely hard challenge, then yeah, I will definitely love going for that. With all the different variations of zombies and everything that they have in this game, like we have the regular zombies, the armored zombies, we have mimics, we have manglers, we have the disciples, hell, they could even throw in mega abominations in there. You can just see the waves getting absolutely so intense once we start getting up there, like in the higher rounds. I do have a few curiosities and concerns when it comes to doing this, like how many squads can do this per match, or how many portals will there be? Will there only be one single portal? And we have heard rumors that there either is going to be multiple of these portals, or the portal is going to spawn in multiple times per match. We'll have to see exactly how that works out, because it's really gonna suck if it's kind of like the Easter eggs in tier 3 where everybody in the match just rushes to this thing and the first ones to get to it are the only ones that can do it. Leaving everybody else in the match out from being able to complete this would just be kind of a complete bummer, and I think a real big misstep. I think they might be a little bit smarter than that, especially since this is like the only major form of content that we're going to be getting. I think they're probably going to want all their players to actually have access to it, or at least, you know, semi-easily have access to it. It would be cool if we could have like that one guaranteed thing that we can go and do that it is an actual challenge. To be perfectly honest, even just going out into tier 3 and trying to do contracts out there, I mean, especially for solo players, it is extremely hard as of lately. Hell, even while having a Scorcher, I was having difficult troubles actually grabbing a contract. You got so many like large teams of 6, or even just a few teams all hanging out in the red tier zone. I mean, everybody's just snagging these things up so fast. Definitely got to be quick, and you got to learn where those things actually spawn in, and just kind of hover either around the area, and then eventually they will spawn in. Once you've done this for long enough, you'll start realizing when other contracts are being done, and then when other ones are actually going to pop up, or like when other people are doing the escort, then there's bigger possibilities of like the bounties actually popping up and stuff like that. Really, I think they should have a better system in place to where we're not all absolutely fighting for these things. It does kind of bring me back to the point where I'm kind of hoping that this rift, or these void rifts, are actually going to alleviate some of that, you know, stress in the red tier zone. Now, well, yes, there will be a lot of people that still do play out the majority of the match, and then we'll probably want to go do that. I have a feeling that there's also going to be a lot of people that either just get what they're going to want really quickly, like just, you know, pack a punch their weapons really fast, get whatever they want, their perks, yada yada, and then they're just going to immediately go for it. From the sounds of it, it seems like we're actually going to be in there for quite a while, and just the rewards for actually successfully getting it done is just better than anything else that we have in the game. I don't know, I am a little bit excited. I don't really want to get my hopes up though. Coming back to this TAC 56 really quick before we end up extracting here, this was a really good AR, I do have to admit. The pros of this rifle really do outweigh the cons. I really do gotta say it's better than most that I've tried out this season. I don't know why, I really feel like a lot of weapons caught nerfs this season. Let me know down in the comment section, do a lot of the weapons in general just feel weaker this season? I have found some that just absolutely slap and just destroy like bosses and whatnot, but for the majority, each time I keep trying to try different things and new things, or even go back to weapons that were really good, they're just not that great. Still, we do have that top best weapons to use here in Modern Warfare Zombies list coming very soon. Please stay on the lookout for that. Again, thank you everybody that checked out the video. I greatly do appreciate it. You guys mean the absolute world to me. Drop a like on it if you guys enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel if anybody is new. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will catch you in the next one.